Welcome back to ajspeller.com. In today's tutorial, we're going to use what I'm calling a standard method to solve a long division problem. Alright, normally this is taught with these 4 steps. First step being divide, second step multiply, subtraction, and then bring down. A neat way that I've learned to teach this was to come up with a new acronym. And with that acronym, it helps the kids remember. We'll say the D stands for does, the M for McDonald's, the S for sell, and then bring down for burgers. So we call it the DMSB method for does McDonald's sell burgers, which we know means divide first, multiply second, subtract third, and then bring down as the last step. All right, let's take a look at a few examples. Let's begin with the number 4 is our divisor. We have 488 as our dividend, and then we're going to come up with the quotient here as the answer. So first, we're going to do our divide or the D portion. So we want to figure out how many times does 4 go into 4. Well, that's one whole time. Then we multiply 1 times 4 to get 4. Then we subtract 4 minus 4 to get 0. And then we bring down the next number, which in this case is the 8. Then we start back over. We want to figure out what 8 divided by 4 is, or another way of saying it is how many times does 4 go into 8? Well, it goes in there 2 whole times. Then we multiply 2 times 4 to give us 8. Then we do our subtraction, 8 minus 8 to give us 0. And then we bring down, and in this case the next number is another 8. Then we go back to the beginning here, which is to do our division. We want to see if 8 can be divided by 4. It can. That there is 2 times. Then we do the M for multiply. 2 times 4 to give us 8. The S for subtract. And then 8 minus 8 to give us 0. And there's nothing to bring down. And here we are finished. And now let's go ahead and move on to our check. Well, to do the check, we have to multiply here the quotient times the divisor. So here the quotient is 122. Let's use the area model to help us do this. So we're going to write the number 122 in its expanded form. So we're going to break this box into 3 pieces. We have a 1, which is in the hundreds place, a 2 that's in the tens place for 20, and a 2 that's in the ones place for 2, and our divisor here is the 4. Once we get to our answer, it should match, our product here should match the dividend in our division problem. So here we have 4 times 1 to give us 4, and we know with the power of the zeros, we have to add on the zeros here. 4 times 2 to give us 8, again the power of 0, so we add a 0 here, and then 4 times 2 again to give us 8. So here we have our 3 partial products, and we need to add those up. Here we have 400 plus the 80 to give us 480, and then we add on the 8 to give us 488, and we see that this product here matches the dividend, so we know we did this question here right. And just for a quick reminder, this number on the outside is the divisor, this number on the inside is the dividend, and the answer here is the quotient. Alright, let's work on another example here. Let's say this time we have a divisor of 5, and we have a dividend of 305, and again we're doing the does McDonald's sell burgers method. Alright, we want to figure out or see if we can divide 3 by 5. Well, we can't, so we place a 0. We go to multiply, 0 times 5 to give us 0. We subtract to get a 3, and then we bring down the 0 to get a 30. Now we want to figure out if 30 can be divided by 5. It can, and that's 6 times. Now we multiply 6 times 5 to give us 30. Then we subtract 30 minus 30 to give us 0, and then we bring down, in this case, a 5, and we go back to the beginning, which is division. We want to do 5 divided by 5. Well, that's only 1 time. Multiply 1 times 5 to give us 5. Subtract 5 minus 5 to give us 0. There's nothing else to bring down, so we're going to say that our quotient or answer is 61. But let's go ahead and check it right quick. So we're going to do our quotient, which is 61, times our divisor, which is 5. Here I'm going to do my multiplication in standard form. 5 times 1 to give me 5, and 6 times 5 to give me 30. So here I have 305, and that does match my dividend, so I know that's correct. And let's do one last problem. Here we're going to say our divisor is 7, and our dividend is 714. And again, we're going to use the DMSB. I'm writing it every time because that helps you remember it. So I'm going to recommend that when you do these problems, you keep writing it so it helps you remember what the steps are going to be for each one of these problems. All right, first we're going to do our division. 7 divided by 7, well, that can be done one time. We move on to multiplying. 1 times 7 to give us 7. Then we subtract 7 minus 7 to give us 0. Then we bring down the next number, which is a 1. We want to know, can 1 be divided by 7? It can't, so we place a 0. And then we do 0 times 7 to get a 0. Then we do our subtraction. 1 minus 0 to give us 1. And then at the end, we do a bring down, which in this case is a 4. Then we go back to the D. 14 divided by 7, or another way of saying that, how many times can 7 go into 14? Well, that's 2 times. Now we're off to multiply. 2 times 7 to give us 14. Then we're doing our subtraction. 14 minus 14 to give us 0. There's nothing else to bring down, so we're saying our answer or quotient is 102. But let's go ahead and check it to make sure. So we're going to multiply our quotient, which is 102, times our divisor, which is 7. And again, I'm going to do this in standard format. 7 times 2 is 14, so I carry my 1, write my 4. 7 times 0 is 0, and then 0 plus that 1 is 1. And then 7 times this 1 gives us 7. And then we look to see if this product here matches our dividend, and it does. So we know we've done this problem here correct. So what I want you to remember is that we have to divide, multiply, subtract, and then bring down. If you can't remember that, try to remember the acronym, which is Does McDonald's Sell Burgers? And this should help you better understand and complete your long division problems. All right, this sums up this tutorial by ajspeller.com. And as always, thank you for watching.